Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video with Blazing Corp. Yes, we are going to be doing, some kind of cool stuff. We're going to be rolling into the Doom Tower Dark Fae Edition, floor 1 to 20. Here we're going to watch a little bit of the clan boss here. And while we're watching this, we're going to talk about update 5.0. And then we'll finish up the Vildrax fusion, which is, which we'll talk about how we finish that up. And then a little bit of faction wars. And we will be going from there. And we're going to do that next. All right, so let's talk about update 5.0. I guess this is a big one here. Well, I guess they wanted to make it a big one since it's 5.0. Brings us into, it's probably the last one for the new year. So what they're saying, it's one of the biggest and most important updates of the year. And I guess we're going to meet the Hydra here. So I don't know when it's going to come. Might be in already here, because I noticed they did an update just a little while ago, but we haven't updated just yet here. But new Hydra boss will be able to access via the clan boss menu, and then obviously still have to be part of a clan to do the clan boss, of course. Now, the clan boss has been the map. It's now a map here instead of just going right into this particular clan boss. So we'll have it looks like 3 kind of stages here, but only 2 are filled out right now. Now, there's only 3 keys here that we're going to get, but the real cool thing about this is we get 6 characters we can bring in per key, but we do lose the characters, or we can only use them once per week. Right, so that's interesting. But we got to rack up damage and make sure we do it before the Hydra resets. So I guess we can do this anytime, and that'd be kind of cool. Now, we get rewards, double rewards if we beat the Hydra, of course. And let's see. Alright, so we have a free regroup button here. So we can end the battle early. Obviously, the damage doesn't count if we end the battle early here, but we won't lose our Hydra key either. I'm assuming we're going to be doing a lot of this stuff manual until we figure out how the heads are behaving, and then we could kind of set our guys to behave accordingly on that end. I have a feeling we'll be manualing the Hydra boss for a while on that end, since they change and we don't know which head's going to come out, so it's really random here on that end. Now, a few things they're saying to remember. We're going to be facing a combination of 4 different Hydra heads with 2 more sitting on the sidelines. So when you chop one of the heads off, there's a chance one of the 2 will take its place and change the combination you're fighting. So that's really dangerous. And I guess for the first little while, we're going to have to, well, I'm going to have to at least have a list up of what each head does. Yeah, I'm going to have a list of what each head does, because I'm not going to know just by looking at them. Now, obviously, we have to change the strategy based on the heads. And then each month, they're going to shuffle the heads to make the initial team change up their affinities, and making sure that we can't, set one particular set of teams, and they just want to make it as hard as possible, which is a good thing. You know, never a bad thing there on that side of things. Now, the 6 champions does give us a lot of flexibility. Here, I always wish I could bring in 6 people to the clan boss. Here, now we're going to get that opportunity. So, I think we're going to see some very interesting synergies here on this side of things. And then obviously the people who have all the gear and, you know, crazy champions will just be doing some crazy stuff right off the bat. So we'll see how hard these guys are once we get the chance to go at them. Yeah, here for sure. Now, yeah, we're really gonna have to keep our eye on the mechanics here. So, you know, we're really gonna pay attention that first couple times. Probably take us like a week or 2 to figure it all out there, and yeah, then we'll try to start making some auto teams. Now, the consume function of the Hydra Heads is going to be an interesting. It's going to be very interesting, actually, because they'll just consume us and be able to, and then we have to have enough DPS to make the Hydra Heads spit us out. That's going to be really interesting. Now, single target damage dealers have no damage reduction inside the Hydra boss, but the AoE attacks do have a damage reduction. So kind of a really interesting skill. Poisons don't do as much. HP burns don't do as much. But it looks like bombs do a fair bit. So yeah, I guess they're really trying to make bombs the meta here, which is kind of unfortunate. But hey, it's always good to have a nice balance of champions in the group. So I guess we'll have to build some of the bomb champions there. Now, when the head gets chopped off, we have the option here to, yeah, we have the option, interesting. Yeah, we have the option to do, yeah, we're gonna have 200% damage in turn once the head is off. So we could really pound it before the other head comes back. So that actually is a very interesting strategy, where maybe we just rip down one head and we pound it, rip down the next head, and then pound it to get as much damage as possible. Now, there's a unique bonus called the decapitation effect, which depends on which heads we smash, and now when it comes back, when the head grows back, it does get a buff called Serpent's Will for 1 turn. That buff reduces all incoming damage by 75% for 1 turn. Okay, that's interesting. That's cool. I guess you got to protect it once it comes out. Alright, so some new debuffs and new buffs to speak about. Let's see. Alright, Life Barrier. The Hydra Heads HP is reinforced with a shield-like effect. However, Life Barrier takes priority over active shield buffs. Any damage directed at the head with this buff will be subtracted from the Life Barrier value first before the head's HP is affected. If Life Barrier is not depleted within a set number of turns, the head under this buff restores its HP to max. Oh, snap. If Life Barrier is depleted, the head is stunned for 1 turn. Life Barrier cannot be removed, stolen, or otherwise affected by buff manipulation skills. Oh, snap. Oh, that's interesting. Wonder how it gets life barrier. Ooh, that's very interesting. I wonder if that is when it eats one of our guys. Interesting. We'll have to see how they can get life barrier. Poison Cloud. Poison Cloud blocks damage from all hostile poison effects. Additionally, every attack dealt against a Hydra head under this buff counts as a weak hit. Okay, wow. Debuffs cancel the effects of poison. HP burn debuffs cancel the effects of poison cloud, so we have to bring in an HP burn champion. Champions whose skills mean they do not land weak hits and affinity breaker artifacts that can counter this effect as well. Poison cloud cannot be removed, stolen, or otherwise affected by buff manipulation skills. Wow. So I guess they're trying to make affinity a set that we have to use, but yeah, we're just gonna do HP burn, so screw that. Affinity breaker still sucks.
You stupid.
Yep. Alright, so Vengeance activates after the Head of Wrath. Suffers 15 hits. Ooh, interesting. Increase the head's damage by 300% for 1 turn and triggers an immediate AoE attack. Vengeance cannot be removed, stolen, or otherwise affected by buff manipulation skills. Ooh, so we gotta be really careful there. So we have to have like shields up or something like that. Or even like an unkillable up during that particular time. I guess block damage is gonna probably be the most important thing here. As having block damage during a certain set time. I have to build out my block damage champion. So Demithra and War Master I have to become really important to I guess 2 of my 3 teams. Just to cover them off every couple turns. Alright, yeah, bring in a shield champion with a 2-turn cooldown. 3-turn cooldown. That 3rd turn, we put the block damage up. Alright. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, Stone Skin. Removes all debuffs from the champion, makes them immune to all debuffs except bombs, reduces incoming damage by 85%, increases damage dealt by bomb debuffs by 300%, can be reset by dealing damage equal to 50% of the champion's max HP. Can be reset by dealing damage equal to 50% of the champion's max HP. I wonder if that means we can reset Stone Skin, or we have to do enough damage to get Stone Skin off. That's interesting. That's an interesting way to word that. I guess we're gonna have to see once it's available in the game. Yeah. Alright, Serpent Spell activates when a new Hydra head grows in place of a decapitated one. Serpent Spell decreases all incoming damage by 75%. Pain Link. This is the one that I was speculating on while we were figuring out each head. Creates a link between the Head of Suffering and target champion. The target champion receives 15% of all damage, so just as I thought, that the Head of Suffering receives, though the Head of Suffering gets full damage from the incoming attack. So it's not a damage mitigation skill, just a, I guess like, yeah, as I said, Pain Link. So you're going to take some of the damage that you're given to the champion, or to the head. Petrification is kind of a crazy skill, or a debuff here. I guess it's the craziest debuff that's come into the game. Removes all buffs from the target champion and blocks any other buffs from being applied. While petrification is active, but the champion can still get debuffs. The target champion skips their turn. The cooldown of their skill does not get refreshed. Additionally, incoming damage is reduced by 60% except for damage dealt by bombs. Bombs deal 300% more damage. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy skill. Decapitated. Activates when the HP of one of the Hydra's heads reaches 0. The head is removed and turns into exposed neck. It cannot act for a set number of turns and takes 200% more damage. That's insane. Yeah, that's insane. But pretty cool. Like, that's how we're gonna rack up some damage. Mark of the Hydra. This is a special effect that marks a champion for devouring. Ooh. Cannot be blocked, removed, or otherwise manipulated. It is also not a debuff, and thus debuff limitations do not apply. And then digesting. Marks the Hydra head that has devoured one of your champions. The head with this effect receives additional HP and a time counter. Deal a set amount of damage before that counter runs out to return your champions to the battle. If you fail, the champion is lost. It cannot be revived or brought back by any other means. That's the basics for now. Alright. Interesting. So we've gone through all the heads, but let's go through them again. The head of Torment attacks when an enemy has a 50% chance of placing a fear debuff for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be blocked or resisted. After the first attack, attacks all enemies under fear or true fear debuffs. Decapitation effect. Whenever this head is decapitated, remove all fear and true fear debuffs from all enemy champions. Then places a perfect veil buff for 2 turns on 2 random enemy champions. Attacks all enemies for A2. Damage increases by 25% for each debuff an enemy is under. So that is, Head of Torment is a vicious head. The passive. When attacked by enemies not under perfect veil buffs, places a true fear debuff on them for 1 turn. This debuff cannot be blocked or resisted. Decreases the damage taken from poison debuffs by 90%. Decreases the damage all Hydra Heads take from AoE attacks by 10%. Damage from skills at scale based on enemy max HP cannot exceed 10% of the head's max HP when attacking its head. Damage taken on 1 tick from HP burns cannot exceed 20,000 HP. Damage taken from a Reflect Damage War Master or Giant Slayer Mastery cannot exceed 50,000 per attack. That really sucks that you can't do Reflect Damage. That is a crappy thing to do to us. But I guess they're trying to make bombs the meta. Which is a crappy way to go about it. I do have to say this. It's a very crappy way to go about it. But, you know what? It is what it is. You know, if that's how it's got to get done, that's how it's got to get done. Yeah, I guess it is what it is with that one. What can you do? Alright, so if that's the way it's got to be, that's the way it's got to be. Let's start on stage 1 here. Give it a go. Alright. Now obviously immune to the usual things here. The Head of Decay. Attacks the enemy with the lowest HP, places a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Oh snap. We're definitely gonna have to make sure. So Doom Priest is gonna become huge in here. Yeah, and so is Inquisitor Shamel. And block debuffs is going to be huge. Whenever this head is decapitated, it heals all enemy champions by 30% of their max HP Then restores 50% of the max HP of any enemy champions whose max HP has been decreased. Removes all debuffs from all heads, then fills the turn meters of all heads by 30% on the A2. Oh, okay. Removes all debuffs, so 30. So this is A3. Removes all debuffs from the head with the lowest HP. Then places a life barrier buff on them for 4 turns. Wait, didn't we just read life barrier? Oh, this is so he can do a full heal. Life barrier, life barrier. Yeah, reinforce the shield. We gotta take down the shield, or the head under this buff gets a HP to max. Wow. Okay, that is that's not cool. That's every 5 turns too. So that's gonna be wow. That's gonna suck. So it's got a heal effect. Huh. Whatever. So, wow. Yeah, that is, wow. I hope these heads don't have a ridiculous amount of HP, because the life barrier plus that is going to make it very, very difficult to win these. Whenever an enemy champion is healed, increases their max HP by 15% of the value of the heal up to 75% of their max HP. Oh, jeez. Decreases the damage taken from poison debuff. That's a crazy skill. Head of Decay. Oh, snap. So same as last time with the passive besides the heal max HP reduction. Wow. That's insane. Okay, that's really insane. Okay. Wow, this boss is going to be harder than I thought. Head of Blight. A1 attacks all enemies. Places 3 poison debuffs for 2 turns. Also has a 75% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. Yeah, block buffs is going to be huge in this battle. Inflicts damage to all heads under HP burn debuffs whenever this head is decapitated. Okay, so that's nice. Attacks all enemies. Places a 5% poison debuff for 3 turns. Instantly deals damage from all poison debuffs on each enemy under a leech debuff. Oh crap. So we have to make sure we don't have that leech debuff up. Yeah, I can't believe they have heal mechanics. Huh. Wow, that's pretty crazy that they have heal mechanics. Place a poison cloud buff on all Hydra heads for 2 turns. This buff cannot be removed or transferred. Ooh, okay. Well, yeah, we can burn it off with HP burns. That's important. This head receives double damage from HP burn debuffs. Decreases the damage all Hydra heads take from AoE attacks by 10%. So that means we can do 40,000 HP damage on this particular boss. Okay, so that's good. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. Alright, so Head of Suffering. Attacks all enemies, places 25% weakened debuff for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted. Holy goodness. Wow. Will not place a weakened debuff on enemies with strengthen buffs. Oh crap. So strengthen and perfect fail and block debuffs are huge here. And then Inquisitor Shamel is going to be huge. Because he can cleanse the uncleansable or the unresistible and unblockable. I guess unresistible, and is it unblockable actually? Yeah, it's unblockable as well. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the fear. Jeez. Yeah, that's insane. Okay. Decapitation effect. Place a shield buff on all enemy champions for 2 turns equal to 30% of their max HP whenever this head is decapitated. Shield buff on all enemy champions for 2 turns. Okay. That's cool. I'm hoping we can decapitate these heads pretty regularly, because that's going to become, I think the decapitation effect is kind of interesting. So it places a 50% ally protection buff on all heads except this one for 2 turns. Holy goodness. Then places a 30% reflect damage buff on this head. Oh my goodness. Also places a provoke buff for 1 turn on the enemy with the highest crit damage. Even crazier. What is going on? I guess it's the head of suffering, so he likes to suffer. Oh my goodness. Attacks on enemy. Places a pain link debuff for 3 turns, then grants his head an extra turn. Oh my goodness. Dude, they made this really difficult. And increases resist of all Hydra heads by 50%. And this is the head that decreases damage all Hydra heads take from AoE attacks by 30%. Yeah, that's insane. Increase the damage taken from poison debuffs by 90%, and then the rest is the same. So how many heads do we have up at the same time? 4. So if we had this and 3 others, that's going to be 50, 60, 70% reduction from AoE attacks. If the only other 4 are up, then it's a 40% reduction. So this head's going to be probably part of the set for a long time, just to get the damage reduction. But if we can get rid of this head first, our AoE attacks become very viable. Reflect damage is insane. Yeah, reflect damage is insane. Alright, Head of Mischief. What do we got? Head of Mischief. Attacks the enemy with the most buffs. Steals all buffs on a target and steals 50% of the target's turn meter. Holy goodness. Decapitation effect. Fully depletes the turn meters of all Hydra heads whenever this head is decapitated. Apply, and then the second A2 is applies a buff spread effect, taking all buffs from this head and placing them on all heads. Changes the duration of all spread buffs to 2 turns. Crap. Yeah, crap. Okay. Wow, that's a pretty crazy skill. And we're gonna have to account for a bunch of stuff. Has a 75% chance of redirecting an enemy attack onto another random head. Oh, that's a passive. Will not occur if this head is under a hex debuff. Oh, jeez, goodness. Increases damage all Hydra heads take from AoE attacks by 10%. And then the same skill otherwise for the passive. Oh man, that's crazy stuff. Man, that's some crazy stuff. Jeez, goodness. Okay, so last but not least, the Head of Wrath. Attacks all enemies on the A1. Places a decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. Holy goodness. The amount of debuffs we're going to have on us is insane. Each hit received increases the vengeance counter by 1. Whenever the Vengeance counter reaches 15, place a Vengeance buff, a block debuff, and a 15% reflect damage. Oh my goodness, for one turn. Then attacks all enemies. The Vengeance counter resets every time it reaches 15. Enemy hits will now be counted while under a Vengeance buff. Inflicts damage to all heads whenever this head is decapitated. If this head is decapitated while under a Vengeance buff, the damage inflicted to all heads increases, and there is a 25% of chance, I guess, of placing a leech debuff on all heads for 2 turns. Okay, that's cool. Alright, attacks all enemies, places a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Also place a 50% increase attack buff on this head for 3 turns. Holy goodness. So that other head could spread the increase attack buff. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is gonna be daunting. Like, very daunting. So we're gonna need cleansers, we're gonna need buff strippers. Oh my gosh. This is insane. Block debuffs for sure. Wow. That was the A2. Okay, so A3 decreases all damage all Hydra heads take from AoE attacks by 10%. Otherwise, it is exactly the same. At least he doesn't have any crazy debuff, crazy like stuff on the passive. Alright, so rewards, clan gold. 2 artifact sets, stone skin and protection. Now, a good thing with these ones is we get bonuses based on even just putting 1 piece on. That's huge. Now on the stone skin, this is how the bonuses line up. So 1 artifact plus 8% HP, 2 resistance plus 40, 3 15% defense, 4 get the stone skin buff for 1 turn at the start of the round. This buff has a 50% chance of being protected. That's kind of cool. Protected being like it can't be ripped off or cleansed. 5, we're gonna get another 15% defense increase. Number 6, champion gets a stone debuff or buff for 2 turns at the start of the round, has a 50% chance of being protected. Stone skin buff makes the champion immune to all debuffs, reduces incoming damage by 85%, increases damage dealt by bombs by 300%. Alright, so protection set, artifact resistance is plus 20 on the first. Number 2, HP plus 15. Number 3, 12% speed. 4, 15% chance to place a protected buff. 5 is another plus 12 speed, so that's plus 24 speed right there. And then another 15% chance to place a protected buff. So 30% chance altogether if we have everything. With 24% extra speed. That's not bad at all. Now, the new champion that we can get, Mithrala Lifebane, from Hydra Rewards. Now, she seems beastly. She's a Void Affinity Support, Dark Elves faction. Seems like all the top level guy, or ladies I should say, are from the Dark Elves. So let's see. Liberation of Pain, her A1 attacks 2 times at random. Each hit has an 80% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. She does not require many books, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. That's pretty insane. There, so she would have a 100% chance when booked of placing that poison for 2 turns. There's 2 poisons essentially she's gonna put out. Alright, so number 3, Sigil of Toxic Glory attacks all enemies, place a Hex debuff for 2 turns, also places a 60% increased debuff and a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. That could be a 3-turn cooldown, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, she's gonna work really well with the Hex champions. So why did we just get Vildrax? if we can get her instead. Seriously. Alright. Removes all, so Brimming Clitics. Yeah. Or Silix. Yeah, Brimming Silix. It removes all debuffs from all allies, then places a 25% strengthen buff and a shield buff equal to 30% of this champion's max HP on all allies for 2 turns. Wow, yeah, so that is amazing. Yeah, she's gonna be really good for the Hydra. Alright, just that skill alone. 3-turn cooldown. Alright, so we're definitely gonna go for her. Whenever this champion is attacked by an enemy under a Hex debuff, has a 50% chance of applying a Petrification debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Whenever an ally is attacked by an enemy under a Hex debuff, has a 30% chance of applying a Petrification debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. That's kind of cool. Also increases this champion's resistance. The amount by which it is increased is equal to the amount of accuracy on this champion. So you build her with a ton of accuracy and she's going to have the same amount of resistance. That is insane. That's an insane skill. Alright, so she is probably going to be the best support champion in the game once she is available. Wow. That's impressive. I'm definitely going for her. She's like, she's the next tower to climb after getting Lydia. For sure. And then Alexander the Sharpshooter, who is pretty underwhelming here. He's got a buff already. He's not even in the game yet. No one even has him. He's already getting a buff. So chance of placing a freeze on his A1 will increase from 35% to 50%, and a damage output of his A2 and A3 skills will increase. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I mean, that's a huge update. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. Very interested to hear your thoughts. I guess read your thoughts there on that end. Yeah, we are just about finished the Doom Tower run here. We'll do the 2 secret rooms as well. Yeah, these low levels, not too much to worry about here. Yeah, I'm very interested in Mathrala Lifebane. She's got all the important buffs. Increased defense, increased attack, strength, and shield. And then she's got pretty much the better of the debuffs, poison and hex. Because hex is going to be really important for the Hydra. Yeah. And then she has a chance for petrification whenever she gets hit. So pretty much like the provoke effect on a lot of other champions like Drexstar. Whenever they get hit can provoke or put out HP burns. Depends on the champion, of course. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for her. Yeah, I guess we'll see how fast we can get her. It depends on how many, how many things we're getting in the box. I think 4 is the minimum when we get to Nightmare or Ultra Nightmare, I guess. So let's see. 4. I guess it's gonna end up being 4 into 100, right? So let's do some quick math here. So 100 divided by 4. So 25 weeks. That's gonna be minimum 25 weeks. Obviously, if you get double I guess she doesn't show up with every single selection, every single chest. I hope she does, because that's gonna be pretty brutal if she doesn't. Then it's gonna be RNG who gets the most, and that's not gonna be fun. But I guess we'll have to see. Now, I wonder if the new update is out already. So we're gonna check after we're done this stage. We're gonna turn this off. We're gonna see if it pops up for updating. If it does, we'll update, and then we'll see if we can get back in here. Now, I realize that I won't be able to bring Vlad into the higher levels here because of the fact that he does not have, well, the Undead Hordes does not have a, well, I don't have an Undead Hordes ring that can give me a shield, which is really unfortunate because I'd put that on Vlad just so he can do this stage. It would make this a lot faster. Yeah, him and Ethos would just rip down the shield really quick. Doesn't take too long here because he's pretty slow. But yeah, it would be nice in the higher levels of the Doom Tower to be able to rip this off. Alright, so let's do the 2 secret rooms here. So rare champions only. This is who we brought in. She is amazing. She doesn't have like crazy stats right now, so I haven't put the best gear on her. But even with these stats, just look what she's going to be doing in terms of damage. Barely has 2,000 defense, okay? Just look at her when she takes her attacks. Like, her multipliers are insane. Like, she definitely is going to need a rekit. But yeah, look at those hits. That's got to be like a 5 multiplier on that. She just hit for 23,000. That's insane. Yeah, she's definitely hitting harder than Bellower, who's better geared than she is. Yeah, those are impressive hits, I do have to say. Yeah, I'll definitely work on building her out. She'll be good for Clan Boss. For the Hydra. I think defensive champions are going to be very important in there. With like ridiculous amount of HP. I'm not going to build her with any accuracy. And then just like a crazy overpowered team here. I don't think anyone has a higher HP in all battles, no. So first off the Grim, you have a lot of HP guys here though. I didn't think I had so many HP champions, but I do. I guess that's because of faction wars, so is what it is there. Yeah, these guys are good. All right. Yeah, I'm excited for Mithra Lifebane. 25. That's a minimum of 25 weeks before we get her here. I hope it's not RNG based to get fragments of her. That's really gonna suck. Yeah, that's gonna suck greatly. And then I'm pretty sure, well, I hope 5.0 is active right now. We're gonna find out as soon as this stage is done. So you will see a black screen here for a hot second. while we update, but never a bad thing to see if this is live. I have a feeling some of these HP champions are going to be pretty good. Yeah, like Smasher is probably going to be pretty good inside of the Hydra boss. He's got that block debuffs plus the... Plus he's tanky. Block debuffs plus a cleanse, which is really good. Yeah, the fact that I have a lot of HP champions is gonna be pretty good. Alright, let's see if this update is live. Okay, so it looks like... Oh wait, how come that didn't update? Is it already updated? I just had to restart? Okay, so it looks like we have a block buffer summon draft, so that's cool. Oh, is that a 2 times or 10 times or? Oh yeah, 10 times chance, okay. Okay. I don't know why. Okay, no, so that definitely didn't. Wait, hold on, let's go back out here. Doesn't look like I had the chance to, install update. There we go. They have it in a weird place for the install of update here. Yeah, it's going through the update. Okay, wait, what? I don't think that is the... Yeah, I don't think the update's applied. It looks like it's just a technical maintenance. Man, that would have been like a nice little Christmas gift. Okay, well, that kind of sucked. That was underwhelming. I thought 5.0 was going to be live. Oh, that would have been so nice. Oh well. Oh well. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was really hoping for 5.0, but I guess not. Just small changes. I guess they're going to bring it out close to Christmas then. Guess that is what it is. Alright, well. Cool and cool. I guess that is what it is. Alright, guys. You guys have a fantastic day. Let me know what you guys think about 5.0 and the new Mithrala champion. And we'll see you again next time. Let's chat then.